Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Maria Espona with ARGIC, Argentina Information Quality, and we are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT, CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Tracy Parsons, CDO at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade of New Zealand. Welcome, Tracy.
Good morning, Maria. How are you?
Fine. And considering that March is the month of women, what do you think about the gender balance in the data work in New Zealand? It's so more men than women. How is it working?
It has historically been more men than women, and I guess I've been having these sorts of teams reporting through to me for over 10 years, and it feels like the gender balance has improved, but certainly when I first started looking for roles of this type in 2011, there were very few women in this area. So it feels like there are now more women, particularly at the more junior levels, but at the senior levels, not so much. So yeah, I'd say it's changing over time. Although, yeah, so certainly there seem to be more male applicants than female applicants, but I've also had feedback that that some women in the profession find it quite hard, and so often if I advertise, then they are attracted to working under a female leader. And actually, that the manager of my data and analytics team is female.
So you consider that it's not in your country the women are able to accede to higher positions in the organizations, and they are able to balance homework, home life, family, and work. The system allows them to do both.
So my oldest daughter's 20. So if I think back when she was born, and I had a senior job at the time, and I really wanted to go back to work and work 4 days a week, and some of that working at home, and that was really difficult at the time. And I was really lucky that my manager at the time really went to bat for me. I found out later on that she was told off, but she said I could work at home 1 day a week, and that was so I could continue to breastfeed my daughter. And things have certainly changed a lot in those 20 years. So back then it was not so common, whereas now it is common. In New Zealand, there is legislation which says that staff are entitled to work at home, or entitled to flexible working conditions unless there is a good reason why not. Now, of course, there are some managers that are fully supportive and some who are not so supportive. Personally, I've always found that if you've got a trusting relationship between you and your manager, good managers are happy for their staff to work flexibly, whereas maybe more controlling managers may not be necessarily. I think in terms of the balance between home life and work life, for anyone that is really dedicated to their job, that's always a challenge. And if you're really dedicated, the challenge is when you get home is to put work to one side and focus on your family. And that can always be a cross to bear for people who are very passionate about what they do. And that's, I think, as you get older, you learn to be better at switching off from work and then switching on to home.
Thank you for sharing how it's in New Zealand and how it's in your life, because you tell us a little bit of your life history. And the last question I have is different or not of the previous one. It said, or is almost popular, that women and men think differently, like the brain works analytically in a different way. So do you consider that being a woman, it's you are in a better, frankly speaking, position to deal with this? Or
I'm not sure whether I believe that men and women think differently. I think we're probably socialized to to value things, to have different values. And I think women are socialized to care more about what people think. And sometimes that can be a really bad thing, because sometimes women can be very uncomfortable standing up and being strong. They think they need to be nice. But on the positive side of that, I think our earlier conversation about change management is the approach that I've always taken is to be very people-centered, which means think about the people, think about, at the beginning of the change, where they are, how they feel, how do you work with them to take them on this change journey, but also the products that you're building for them. They've got to work for people as well, not just work in theory, but work for real people. So I don't know if that's a difference because I'm a woman, to think more about the people who we're working with and make sure that it works for those people. So I guess from that perspective, I could say that emphasis on the soft side of both working with and for real people, I think that's certainly one of the reasons why my work program has been very successful.
Yeah, I think that what you are saying is quite interesting, because you are putting the focus on the capacities of the people and what they are able to do and achieve and how they fit in this program or plan that you have for the future, instead of checking its gender. I think that is fantastic, because it allows to have it shows an open mind that looks into what is important. That is at the end the people and how they are and the preparation that they have. And
we have a wonderful saying, like a Maori saying in New Zealand, which is "Hei tangata, hei tangata, hei tangata," and what that means is it's the people, it's the people, it's the people.
Totally agree with you. It's the most important thing, and the others, it's other management style, you can say, different, that will achieve the same or different results through a different path. But I believe that the path you have chosen and your culture allows to have, it's fantastic. It's really good. So thank you for making us think about all these topics, not only about data, but also about organizations and the role of women in the data world. And I would like to thank you again, Tracy Parsons, for joining me today. And please visit the cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.